Hello and welcome back to Freedom Tech Friday, a weekly live and interactive show hosted on the Ungovernable Misfits, Noster, YouTube, Rumble and Twitch feeds. We go live for 1 hour every Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern or 2 p.m. UK time, but you can also catch up later on the podcast feed. On Freedom Tech Friday, we like to cover the latest news and trends for anything relating to freedom technologies. That could be anything from Bitcoin or Monero, encrypted messengers, privacy tools, and everything in between. Essentially, if there's a news item, tool, or topic that can help you take back some control in today's digital panopticon, then we want to talk about it. My name is Q&A, and I'm head of experience at Foundation, where we build Bitcoin-focused sovereignty tools. As always, I am joined by my good friend Max, the head honcho at the Ungovernable Empire, and Seth, who is COO over at Cake Wallet. This is a live and interactive show, and you can help steer the conversation by commenting live, pre-submitting your questions or topics on socials, boosting the show via Podcast 2.0 apps, sending in tips, or just sharing the show with your friends. Top support from the last show with Jordan and Max Tanhill, talking all things BIP47, comes from Anon, who sent 7,936 sats and said, Ape here, presumably Ape Mithrandir. So you're not very Anon. I'm not sure what went on there. But anyway, he said, I'm trying to escape the fountain walled garden. What do you need to be able to boost a podcast using your NPub and your own LN wallet? Is there any way to avoid the fountain fees? I can post via the fountain website using external wallet, but you still get hit with the 2% fees. Help a brother out during the bear market. Off the top of my head, I am not sure. I'll have to get back to you on that one, Ape. But thank you for your support. And if you don't get a response in a couple of days, please badger me on Noster and I'll do some research. There's got to be a way around it. I know
he mentioned paynims as well, which I said I'll send him.
There we go. So we owe you both. Both of us owe you, Ape. And yeah, I'm sure there's a way around it. I'm betting that Chad Farrow will have an answer to that one. But anyway, without further ado, Max, Seth, we do have a guest who I'm going to bring on in a second. But for now, how are you both doing?
Very good, mate. I'm excited for today. I use Phoenix on my phone pretty heavily and not yet use Phoenix D. So excited to learn more.
Yeah, likewise. I'm pumped to do this. I've been a long time user of Phoenix D, not super heavily, but it's something that I think fills a niche that we didn't really have in the Lightning space. So I'm excited to learn more about how people can use it more easily. I kind of did it on the server side and command line, but I know that's a little too scary for most people. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm also just breathing a sigh of relief because our biggest release in a very long time is finally going out today. So I can get some sleep finally.
Ooh. Congrats. Nice. Well, yeah, long time coming and very highly anticipated. So excited to see that in the wild. Nice work. All right. Interest of time, we do have a hard stop. So today we have a guest on the show, which I always enjoy doing. We are joined by Miguel Medeiros, and Miguel's going to tell me whether or not I butchered that in a second. He's a Brazilian Bitcoin developer who's been building open source tools for Bitcoiners for a number of years now. Some of you may be familiar with him from his work over at Mempool or from Synonym, where he's been working, I believe, on the PubKey protocol, but we're going to learn some more about that in a second. But today we're talking about something he's been building and something that Max and I have been talking about for a couple of months now on the Bitcoin Brief that I think a lot of the Freedom Tech Friday audience deserve to know about, and that is the Phoenix D dashboard. we're going to dive in a second. But first off, Miguel, welcome to the show, mate. Before we get into the nitty gritty about it, how you doing? And maybe just give us a bit about yourself and a bit of your background.
Yeah, I'm doing good, doing good. Nice to meet you guys. It's a pleasure to be here. So yeah, I've been working with peer-to-peer technology since like 4 years ago, since I entered Synonym. And yes, we're doing something called, we invented the technology called PCAR, Public Key Addressable Resource Records, that on top of this, we build the PubKey stack. So it's really, really cool. We're using the BitTorrent network. So that's actually really, really nice. And before that, I was helping mempool.space. You probably know this project. So I was helping Wiz and Simon to build everything regarding explorers and stuff like that. So it was really cool that too. And on my vacation, I took time to build something for me. And what I've built was Phoenix D dashboard because I don't know if this is like a good podcast, but I'm like a kind of a lightning hater. This would be like a surprise for you guys, but I don't like lightning, but this is the thing that we have, right? So I've already tried everything that you can imagine. I started doing everything by hand, like installing everything, CLI everything, like trying to help with my friends here at home, like and trying to figure out how to work at the beginning of like 2018, and like nothing works. Like everything was testnet. They're like, wow, it was horrible. The UX was horrible, and at the beginning you have to manage all the liquidity, open all the channels, like do all the transactions by hand and everything like that, right? And then later came like new softwares to like LND and stuff like that came with the UI, cool UI. They have like hasp plates, and they have like after they came like Umbrella stuff. So you can kind of like self-hosted um, Lightning channels for yourself. But even then, uh, it's a bad UX, right? So I had like a journey to find out what was the best UX for my own projects, for my own things that I was using Lightning. And I stumbled into Phoenix D. And for me, that was like, okay, this is the way to go. This is the perfect UX to go. And can kind of like have like a workaround for everything that Lightning sucks. And yeah, so that was like my journey to get into this project. Pretty much like stumbling to Lightning and figure out that Lightning sucks a lot and try to get the best UX of it. And yeah, and then stumbling to Phoenix D. And to be honest, like the guys from ASIC, like they are the wizards. They are the best of what we have today in Lightning. So yeah, they figure out how to do splicing and stuff like that. So now it's perfect. It's really hard. It's really easy to connect Lightning with your project. So
Yeah, thanks for that. I really want to dive in a little bit more to that to kind of set the scene as to why Phoenix D itself was such a game changer. What were the kind of hurdles and stuff that you were coming up against when you were saying, you summarized it quite eloquently there by saying that Lightning sucks, and you're in good company here. We've all felt those same pain points. But maybe let's just paint a bit more of a clearer picture for people. What were you coming up against, and how did Phoenix D solve that for you?
yeah, so like first of all, like in order to receive, you need to open a channel, like you need to spend on chain, and then you need to spend on Lightning so you can have inbound liquidity or outbound liquidity to receive money. And what a horrible UX this is. Like this is horrible. Like right, you need to deposit it, and then you need to deposit, and then you need to spend it, and then in order to receive, what the f? Like doesn't make any sense, right? and this is a horrible UX. And imagine like if you receive that much money and you fulfill all your inbound liquidity, and you need to open more channels, like it's another pain. Like and if you have like multiple channels, you need to balance those, so it's another pain. Like so, but like at the end, like you need to be like a full time like watching this stuff. Like even if with like automatic tools that people are doing, like and connected with Telegram, like the auto balancing stuff. Like even though like you, and at the end you're spending fees too, right? You need to manage liquidity, manage fees, and like keep the connectivity there, like backups. it's a burden. It's like a full-time job, to be honest. And that's why people are trying to find out like easy ways to manage liquidity. And Phoenix D was like a solution to that. Um, a kind of a self-custodial solution, right? So it was kind of the first one that kind of like hopped into my mind because it's different from anything else that we had before. So that's why I think that the issues is like managing your node, your Lightning node. It's not like an easy thing to do. That's why the hurdles of like running a Lightning company or something like that.
Yeah, you mentioned the async guys earlier being Lightning wizards. I think there's just like so much going on to what they've built with Phoenix Wallet, and that's Phoenix D because it's pretty similar to. It basically is a serverized version of Phoenix Wallet. But yeah, they're like their ability to build a Lightning experience that is Lightning native. It's not a kind of an abstraction like you would think of like the liquid custodial approach where you're just swapping into Lightning when you want to spend, or the Spark and Arc approaches where you're using a state chain or a side chain and then swapping into Lightning when you want to spend. But Phoenix is actual Lightning channels on chain, and yet it feels almost perfect. There's definitely still some pain points with it that just come with how Lightning works, but it feels almost perfect. And it's a team that I feel like almost no one has like met or seen. They don't sponsor events. They don't come out. Like they just build incredible stuff behind the scenes and ship it, and have been doing that for a really long time.
They don't even tweet something. They just like chill pill. They're just building, and then just, oh hey guys, we built something, and that actually was like, I remember when they tweeted about Phoenix D, I was like shocked. I was like, what the fuck? This is exactly what I wanted, because I was playing with third parties, right? I was playing with Alan Pay, and then Alan bits my own things, and what, there was a lot of like CoinOS, like they have like their own APIs that you can do it. And I remember that when they put it up that tweet and they put up the website, I was, what? This is exactly the solution that I needed. And it was like Seth said, like it's the backend for Phoenix T. So it's just like a terminal CLI. You're gonna see like nothing fancy, but it was exactly that I wanted. Like they have like auto liquidity, like it manage everything for me, like a just like easy way to build it. And Seth was like a piece, was one of the piece of the Phoenix D dashboard because he made the um, the container image that I've used in the beginning, and now like Async guys like incorporate the image there. So thanks for that stuff. And yeah, like now it's like super easy to just like install and start using Phoenix D. And those guys, they are beasts. Like, so as soon as they tweet that, and they don't tweet that much, so they tweet that, I was like reading the documentation, and I view like something that I call like Phoenix. I don't know if I can share my screen now. I don't know if it's too early, but I can show everything that I'm saying.
Yeah, so just before you do that, just to kind of set the scene, so Phoenix D is like a bit like Lightning. Excuse me. Phoenix D is a little bit like Phoenix on the mobile, where it's like server side Lightning on easy mode, where everything's kind of automatically managed for you with all of the the huge features that you would get with the Phoenix mobile application, which I'm sure we're all huge fans of. I know that I am. But clearly, the fact that it was a CLI tool, or that it is a CLI tool, kind of limits how many people are willing to kind of dive into that. So was that the impetus for you to want to build a UI layer around that? Was it to kind of out to more people? And I'm just kind of curious to hear what was the main impetus for you to build a dashboard.
That was the main pain for me, because like every time that I need to go and see my balance of my stuff and move things like balancings, I had to go to the terminal and remember all the API again. I said, oh fuck, I don't remember, and then I need to go there, and I said, oh my god, one day I'll build like a dashboard for this. One day I'll build it. One day I'll build it. And then I keep that in my mind, and then the day came and I say, hey, let's do it, and then I did it. So yeah, that was my. It was like I was doing things for me. So like, sorry guys, I didn't thought about the end users. It was just I was the user. So and then I built it, and it was, oh, that's really cool. And then I did it open source, and then people like I shared on Twitter, and then people started using it because like it's useful. And then after I did it, I realized there was like there was 2 other attempts to do like something kind of like that, but they're not that as good as mine. So I think mine got more popular.
Nice.
Honestly, a lot of times the best stuff comes from those situations where you're just like, I need this for me. This fills a gap that I have. I'm going to build this. And then the beauty of open source pairs with that, where you have built something that is just a good fit for you, but instead of just keeping it behind closed doors and just for yourself, you share it out to the world, and so much good stuff comes like that. I mean, pretty much everything I've done has initially been something where I need it, but it's awesome that I can easily share that with the world. Cake Wallet started as something that Vic wanted. Like it's really common, I think, for the most fantastic projects to be just, created by someone for something they need and solving that goal. And then it turns out that a lot of people have shared needs.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Miguel, let's leverage the power of video here. If you want to take over the screen share and give us like the full walkthrough, as much as you can show us, we've got plenty of time here to go from onboarding to all of the cool features. Just like, shill your wares. I'm excited to see this live.
Yeah. So I think I've already shared here on Restream.
We're not seeing it just yet.
Let me try it again.
It might be that I missed the notification.
Okay.
There we go. Again. Yep. Okay. It's on its way. There we go.
Okay. So this is the Phoenix D dash. That's like Phoenix D put up a tweet that points out to this website. And then like my first impression was like reading this. I said, okay, now I have like an HTTP endpoints. I have WebSockets. I have everything. Everything's there. So then the next thing that I did was like click on get started and download the thing and use the CLI to work with. So that's what we're saying. Like we don't have like a user interface, like good one, but we have an API, and the API could do anything, like create invoices, like invoice that you paid once, invoice that you reuse the invoice, like both 12 and both 11. You can do pay to on-chain, otherwise you can swap between Lightning and on-chain if you want to. You can pay to Lightning addresses. You can have like lots of stuff, even real-time notifications. So that was what I saw when they published the tweet. And I said, oh my God, okay, let's do something like to use on my own project. So I call it Phoenix Server.js. And it's just a library that you imported. So that was the first, like I was just studying while I was reading the documentation. I did this. So this was my first, let's say, project on top of this. I rename it to Phoenix.js later. But it's super simple. Like you can see here, like you just like instantiate like a Phoenix, and you do Phoenix dot, and you can see all the APIs and points like easily to consume on your code, right? So you can integrate easily with this package. And then later, like I said, okay, like one day I'm gonna do a dashboard, and then I did a dashboard. So this is the Phoenix D dashboard /Miguel Phoenix D dashboard, and this is a cool dashboard that you can have. Like you have lots of features that I'm going to go through all of them. But yeah, like this is the thing that I did to consume that API. So let's go through to the Phoenix dashboard. This is the wizard that you started, but let's go to the code first. So I have my code here. Okay, I think you can see it, right? Yeah.
Yep, we can. Yep.
So the first thing that you're gonna do is do Docker compose up build, right? I've already have it running here. So you're gonna have like a Docker running with this instances here. You're gonna have like a Phoenix C. Let me open the logs here. So you're gonna have like your backend that I did for the application, for the dashboard. You have the front end of your Phoenix C, and you have like a database. I have Postgre here. So you're gonna run Docker compose up -d minus build, and you're gonna run, and it's going to run up this Docker compose here. So as soon as you run the Docker compose, you're gonna go to localhost 3000, and it's going to go through the setups page. It's going to redirect this page because you have to go through a wizard setup to do the first time. So you can select your language. I think I've already did this one. Yeah, I've already did this one. Let's go through. Let's reset it again. I can reset it. Just keep everything that I did here, so I don't lose anything. It's resetting the configurations and going to the wizard again. I'm just like resetting stuff that I did because this is it's already a node that I run for my own things. So you just select your language. You do next. and then you just like do a password here that you want. And then you can have like a minimal, full, or a custom one. Let's do the full one, but you can, let's do the custom one. You can choose between themes. You can choose between backgrounds because why not, right? And you can,
Just
go
before you
ahead.
move forward, Miguel, what's the difference between the different setup types? Like, why would I choose one over the other?
Yeah, it's because within the dashboard, I added more stuff. So I added like a theme. You can select your theming. You can select your language. So there's like a full wizard. There's nothing fancy there. There's only one thing at the end. Let's go to the custom one. So let's next. You can choose your theme. You can choose your background. You can choose if you want to use Phoenix D locally. Otherwise, you're gonna use the Phoenix D that I bootstrap here, or you're going to use an external one because you can connect this dashboard. You can just run the dashboard in the Docker and point to an existing one, right? So that's pretty cool. Let's use the Docker one right now. And you can also have like network services because imagine that you want to access this through when you're traveling and you have like Tailscale in your phone, but the Phoenix D is running in your server, so you can run Tailscale in your phone and run it here, connect it here. You can both connect while you're traveling, so that's really cool. You can open ports to the internet. So if you have a domain, you can use a Cloud Tunnel to open a port to a domain, so you can access a domain and get access to the Phoenix D dashboard. Um, and you can use like a store too. So you can uh, enable all of them if you want to. And I made like at the end, I'm going to talk about the apps. Okay, I'm not going to put the apps now, but yeah, you can run like a custom installation. So the next thing you're gonna complete here, it will run the Dockers here. It will run all the Dockers and start the dashboard for you. Remember, this was already like a dashboard that I'm using, so there is a balance here. When you start like at first, you don't have anything, you don't have any capacity, anything here, right? You still need to open a channel, so everything will be like zeroed here, and you're gonna be able to receive money, right? Because what Phoenix D does is you first receive credits, and as soon as you have the amount of money to pay for the opening fees and Phoenix D fees, you open automatically, and then everything goes to your channel. So in this example here, I already have a channel here. So if I click on my channel, I already have a channel here. So you can see that I'm playing with this. So yeah, so this is the first impression that you have when you install it, right? So install it, and you have like let's change this to uh, English. Okay. So you have an overview here. Oh, wait, it's a little bit buggy. It's forcing me to Portuguese. Okay, but this is like the overview, and in the overview, you're gonna see that I've added more stuff here. So you have like an analytics page, so you can check everything what happens within your transactions and everything that run in your node. You have context because why not, right? I added context there, and with context, I added recurring payment, so you can actually keep sending money through context. So let's try this one. This one is really cool.
That's a nice
So
feature.
I added my bot here, and I added like a lightning address for my bot. They just to add a context, just anything here like a bot, and you can add anything. You can add like a lightning address. You can add a directly node or a boat 12, right? So you can repay it. So let's create like let's play like 10 satoshis per minute, and let's schedule it. So you can see like in recurring payment, it's already there, and every minute we'll spend like 10 seconds to this lightning address. So you can add context, you can pay like recurrent payments. It's good for you guys that have like podcasts. You can people can do this and keep paying for you if they want to. And you can see like you can receive one time or reusable one. Or you can send like one time a reusable one to send to LN address or to swap to on chain too. This everything that you can see in the HTTP endpoints, you can see it here too, but with the cool UI, right? So if you want to like, for example, receive like 100 sats, it's already there. Okay, let's pay this with my Albi. So you can see here, just receive it. Have like cool animations too. Um, So yeah, and you can see like with both 11 or both 12, you can like have like a reusable address too. And here you can have like a list of payments, and you can click and see like what was going on with that payment. You can even add category or notes to the payment, so you can see, oh, this was like I paid for a coffee, whatever. What else do you have? Like channels. You can see, you can close channels, you can see them and pull. What is the transactions regarding the channel? You have also tools. So here you can, oh, see, I've already paid with my recurring payment there. So here I have tools to decode stuff. I can decode a boat 11 or a boat 12 invoice. And I also could infer fees. So I can get, when I get like more liquidity or something, I can know how much it's going to cost me with that fees. I also have LN URL. This is also part of Phoenix D API. And yeah, pretty much this is Phoenix D APIs, right? And just plus context and recurring payment on top of it. And I also did analytics too. So here's like just like a cool dashboard that you can see. This activity heat map is really cool. Like it's like GitHub commits, but for payments. So you can hover and see, okay, how many payments that I did here, how many payments that I received. Really cool. And you can see like how much fees you pay, how are you paying, right? And yeah, this is like just analytic stuff. And to close it up, like all the features, you can see like node stuff. And if you're text heavy and you want to see logs, you can actually see logs from your Docker Compose, and you can. That's a cool. It's really cool that you can access terminal there. So actually, I'm going through SSH here, and I'm inside of the container. So you can, if you want to, you can hop in here, and this is Linux, like you can go in there. And you have settings page. You can set up like your lock background. You can set like passwords. You can set up here like tail scale configuration, stuff like that. Here you can add more nodes, right? You can add external load. So I added my own website here. So for example, if I want to change this dashboard and point to my website, I just click here, and it will point to my website, my statistic, everything there. So you can have like multiple ones or the auto-generated ones, right? So that's really cool. And display, you can also have like multiple currencies. You can see like you're balancing in dollars, in euros, and or bitcoins. And if you're choosing Bitcoin, you can hop into the showing on sets or bitcoins in BIP 177. And you can themes, and you can also change animations. So you can have thunder, fireworks, and stuff like that. I like confetti better. You can turn on and off sounds. So that was like just getting crazy with this, right? But and you can have
Miguel,
like wallet backups and yeah, everything else. It's just everything here. And saying that, I kind of complete all the features that I want for the dashboard. I don't want to put anything more here because I think it's already there. It's finished.
It's really nice. Did you have a background in UX UI? I think Jordan asked this as well in the boosts and the messages, but as a general rule, Bitcoin stuff is pretty horrible UX and horrible UI. This is really, really clean. You mentioned before, specifically with Lightning, like it's a bit of a pain in the ass. I've had troubles with it. I mean, since the beginning of Lightning, pissing around and having problems. And I look at something like this. I'm going to use Phoenix on my phone. It just works. It's brilliant. I look at something like this, and it just is worlds apart from what we normally see. So is it something you've done for a long time, or have you just got some skills naturally?
So my background is like I'm kind of old guy. I'm completing 40, and I've been since a developer since I was a kid. So I've kind of had the birth of internet, and I've worked for so much in the payment, like doing e-commerce stuff and dealing with payments and stuff like that. And also advertising agencies, mostly here in Brazil, but the major ones, I've worked for as a freelancer for them for so long that I've made so many websites in my life. So, and I know what is good and what's bad just by having a good taste of it. I think so. And because I did it a lot, I've saw so many designs, and that's what I do. So I think like, and the other thing that I have that I feel like with AI, it's better now. It's kind of a more generalistic. I've started my career in the back end, actually, actually kind of a DBA. I started with the DBA role, and then I've went myself up to the web and starting with the back end, and then going to the front end and DevOps, and so now I've kind of feel myself like a generalist. So that's why I can do like everything from back end to front end, DevOps, and everything. Uh, and I feel like lucky that now I have AI to fulfill the gaps that I don't don't know. So I feel like every is like specialist guy that's super nerdy in just one thing. They oh my god, they don't get like the fully grasp of what you can do if you're generalist like me. So yeah, it feels like much because I did it alone, but I have like a solid background on multiple things, so that's why. But UX wise, that's a burden with in the Bitcoin world because I feel like we only have backends to be honest. Nobody's like a good UX guy, you know.
Yeah, and then the sort of feedback for the retards like me has always been like, oh, just learn it, just use it. And it's like, okay, I mean, that's fine, but command line stuff and things like that for people who aren't technical, you just don't pick it up and you don't use it. Whereas something like this is beautiful. Like I would jump straight into this and work my way around, and even someone like me would be able to use this. So yeah, congrats. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, I did my best effort. Like I said, like it was for myself, right? I did it for me. So, but at the end, I was like just posting on Twitter, and then thanks to Vilela and Otto, that was the guy that I'm here for them. To be honest, they forced me to be here because I hate going to. I'm more like a backstage guy, and I hate like to be like podcasts and stuff like that. So pardon me if the things are boring here, but like
no, it's great.
I always did for myself, and as soon as I keep posting the updates, people are like, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? Oh yes, for sure. Like this is on my to-do list actually. And then it was most of the things that were on my to-do list, but I said I'm just doing it for myself. Nobody would care about this. And then people ask for it. Okay, that makes sense. So I was just adding more stuff. And then people for the guys from Umbrel, Start9, and there was another BTC Pay server. They liked the project and they tweeted about it and they want to integrate with their stuff. So that's really cool. Like this is like the thing that I did for myself and maybe to help others. It's super cool.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely excellent. The UI really speaks to me. It's I think it's beautiful to look at. So really well done on that. Hats off. I think it looks fantastic. I'm glad you mentioned the different node packages because you kicked off your demo there with running Docker and things like that, which might seem quite trivial to somebody like yourself, but you may have already lost some people being like, well, hang on, what the hell is this Docker thing? Like, if somebody wants to get started with the dashboard today, is Docker the easiest way to do so, or is it already one point click on Start9 and Umbrel? Like, what's the status of all that?
Yeah, so I hated this because like people, the first thing that they ask, okay, can I just one click install it? I said no, no, you can. You need to run Docker and then just Docker compose up manage D. Like it's not that hard, guys. Come on, like just do it. But people are like, oh no, I wanted to do this, and then what I did was make a Tauri app on top of it that just emulates what I did, uh, and runs everything locally, but it's not that stable yet. That was like me trying to figure out how to do this. So if you go to releases here, you can check out. I think it was the latest one. You can check out the assets here. I don't know if there's. Yeah, I need to figure out what it is, but like you can. I'm exporting to Mac OS and Linux. You can try to install it, but I didn't sign it. So in order to run the the thing on the Mac, you need to run things on the terminal too. So like nowadays, yes, only it's Dockerized. So yes, but my plan was okay. Now I have like power users, right? Tech-savvy users, and maybe the next phase would be like integrate with something that like normies use, like Umbrel or Start9 or whatever, and they just like one-click install. And that was my plan. So they don't even need to know what Docker is, right? But yeah, but currently we don't have it. I'm sorry, guys.
Nice. I'm going to throw a listener question at you. I know Seth has quickly answered it in the chat, but it'd be good for you to get your thoughts on it, and for people listening on the podcast stream as well afterwards. Vibrant on Twitter has asked, with Phoenix D, what happens when someone pays your invoice that's larger than your current inbound, meaning channel capacity? He said, I know Phoenix increases your channel size by splicing, but is there a window where you could be rugged, or is there some protections there?
Good to know. Never tried this one, Vibrant. But yeah, but probably they have like safeguards for just edge cases. But from what I understand, it happens as splicing, and you just like get the inbound minus the fees, and you get it. But I never tried, to be honest, so I don't know.
Yes, I think Seth.
Oh, by the way, if you use this Phoenix D dashboard, please use it carefully. This is what I did for myself. If you lose money, it's all on you. So use it carefully, please. It's like not production ready for like big stuff. Use for like just to play with, because it has access to your funds. So take carefully. Just don't open everything like to ClearNet or something like that. Just go slow, but give it a shot because it's really really nice. But yeah, to be honest, I don't know. I know that you start with 0, and then when you have the amount of like to be able to open the channel, it already will open for you. And if you need more inbound liquidity, it already splice for you and give you more liquidity. It doesn't matter if you don't have the funds yet; it automatically opens for you. But of course, it deducts the fees, right? And the only thing that I need to that I think, but I think we are in a phase, in a stage of it, is that Phoenix D has like expensive fees, and I don't like that, right? But they can afford it because they are the best on it, right? They don't have competition. So if anybody here is listening to this podcast, please like open another Phoenix D like with the same API. It's really easy for us to like switch between one and another, and then you have competition, and then here you go. Like you can fight for fees, right? Because if you have the same API as Phoenix D has, and it's easy to switch between providers, come on, like they have to slow down with the fees, right? And I mean, I love you guys from Async, but like it is expensive, right? That's the only thing that I need to complain about them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they have an awesome product, and yes, the fees are quite high, especially when you compare to doing kind of self-sovereign Lightning. You're absolutely paying for the convenience and them do the legwork. And even as a Lightning node runner myself, I still use Phoenix on my phone as like a backup, and I'm happy to pay those fees. There you go. Thanks for bringing that up on screen. I'm happy to pay those fees to have that level of convenience for where my node's fallen over or I can't access it for whatever reason. I think they do offer a great product, and the fact that we've now got Phoenix D combined with a beautiful dashboard like yours is a fantastic solution. While we're talking about async, I want to just quickly cover off some of the trade-offs around Phoenix D, and well, I suppose it also applies to the Phoenix mobile application as well, and some of the trade-offs that people may or may not consider when using this, because we've been chatting here for 40 minutes and saying how great Phoenix is, and that hasn't changed, but there's kind of like an elephant in the room here. And Miguel, I'm keen to get your thoughts here. Is if you're a Phoenix D user or the user of the dashboard or the mobile application, like what happens if async disappears tomorrow, or their node goes offline, they get regulated, or whatever it is? Where does that leave users of the dashboard, the mobile app, etc.?
Yeah, that's what I'm okay. I'm gonna put my hater hat again. That's why I think Lightning sucks, because uh, everything is a bank now, and Async is another bank. And if Async just goes away, the good part is that your funds is safe. They're gonna close the channel, and the funds that you have in the channel is going to your side. But yeah, like Lightning now, the network is turning into like set of banks. They have liquidity, they have their everything needs to go through them because they have the liquidity, they have the best connectivity, they're doing this like as professionals, and everybody else is just like hobbyists, right? So yeah, like Lightning by design turns everything to banks, and LSPs are just like big banks. And you're right, like you do. But the good part is like it's a free banking system. It's better than what we have today with solid assets that you can hold yourself, right? So if a sync for some reason goes away, it will close your channel and you get the funds back, right? But yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of something. Sorry, Q. That's kind of something that people have always warned about and worried about with Lightning since the early days, especially like I think me, Q, and Seth all very much early days in the Samurai world and using Whirlpool and on-chain stuff. And there was a lot of hate on Lightning because of where they saw it going. Do you think there's any way to walk it back and have more sovereign use of it? Or do you think this is just the way that it goes and you just have these large players and a bank-like system?
This is like that by design. Like if you guys see the presentation that Taj did for when he was presenting Lightning, and if you actually read the paper, you're gonna see that in order for Lightning to succeed, the block size should be like huge. And in order to mitigate this, now we're just like all the developers are trying to create like BIPs and stuff like that to fix this, right? And I kind of disagree with this. I'm pretty against this. Like we're trying to change Bitcoin to accommodate Lightning. I don't want to be like Bitcoin to be Lightning development driven development, right? So that's why I like ZK rollups with BitVM stuff. I know it's clunky, I know, but now we have like garbage locks and stuff like that. So maybe we have a chance there, better than Lightning. And yeah, like, but I feel like if you're going to always push pips and push consensus change to just fix Lightning, I think this is a bad idea. And I do think that we have more options, right, before starting doing this. But yeah, just me and everybody that's worked with Lightning, developers that I know, like they got a burnout. Like it's just like too hard, and that's why I like Phoenix, because make my life so easy. But yeah, but I feel like the design of Lightning, going back to your question, the design of Lightning, it is centralized by itself. Like it's centralized, good connectivity, lots amount of liquidity, and at the end you just like it's like banks, right? And I'm seeing that's not an improvement. I think it is an improvement, but and the other stuff is Lightning doesn't give like money to miners, so I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of flaws, and I think we deserve better designs.
Yeah, I think we've kind of hit the limits of what Lightning is capable of, and thankfully people are kind of waking up to the fact that the dream of Lightning that was initially pushed with where like everyone's going to run their own node, everyone's going to manage their own channels, people will earn routing fees by managing channel balances well and handling their liquidity well. Like all of that is just dead. Like it's
in Raspberry Pis, running in Raspberry Pis, right? Like, that was like crazy. What the fuck?
Yes, that was a time. Thankfully, that time is over. I think the really important thing with Lightning to keep in mind, though, is that it can be a very good connective network that helps you to move Bitcoin between things without requiring custody. And I think that's the key. It's not really a problem with how Lightning is designed if like there are relatively centralized routing hubs, as long as we're not trusting those routing hubs with our money. And Lightning does detach the custody with the routing side of things. So I think I'm especially excited about the use of Arc and Spark to give people easy access to the Lightning network. Now it's not native Lightning like using something like Phoenix D is. Your balance is kept in Spark, so it's essentially a state chain, or it's kept in Arc, which is a little bit more complex. But you're able to use the Lightning network to send money to anyone else who supports the Lightning network. So I think viewing it as this kind of connective tissue among the Bitcoin space that helps you easily send money between different networks, between different wallets, between different users, is a good end result, and honestly is really what Lightning was always going to become. It always lends itself towards centralized routing hubs by design. It gets worse the more routes you have possible, the more channels you have in the network. Routing gets worse, payments get slower, payments get more expensive. So a lot of the what's happened, I think, is kind of by design with how Lightning was formed. But I think there were too many false promises made in the early days of it will solve all of these problems. It will fix privacy. It will fix all of this, and you'll be able to run it completely self-sovereignly where you run your channels and everything. That's not a reality. But thankfully, there are good solutions. I think Phoenix is probably the only native Lightning solution that is really workable. And then pretty much everyone else has either pivoted to the custodial Liquid thing, which I'm obviously not a fan of, or now to Spark or Arc, which can provide you with a really good user experience and still having access to the Lightning Network quite easily.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And then Lightning was overpromised, right? And then we need to fix this. And the bad part is every time that you try to bash Lightning with good reasons, like people would just like emotionally reply back like, no, Lightning is good. Like, okay, that's fine. It's the best thing that we have so far, but like it's not the best. Come on, let's just stop on that one. That was a good try, but yeah. And to be honest, I did lots of things with Lightning. I test everything there. I'm not bashing Lightning because I don't like it. I like it, like I said, but I don't think you should stop on this one.
For sure. And I think the more you build with something, the more you realize what it's actually good at and what it's actually bad at. And a lot of the false promises, I think, were made by people, podcasters, who I'll bash, even though I am one of them, who hadn't actually built something around Lightning and thought that it was easier and simpler to fulfill these promises than it actually was. But once you get into the weeds, it quickly becomes clear what Lightning is actually good at and what it's bad at, and make the most of it.
Yeah.
All right, we have about 5 minutes before I need to begin the wrap up. We've got some listener questions for you, Miguel. I'm going to put them up on screen wherever I can. First one comes via XMR chat from XMR Enthusiast, who sent in 0.01 XMR and said, Miguel, can KeySend payments work with your Phoenix D dashboard setup?
No.
Most podcasters and content creators are using an Alby hub because of the KeySend payment functionality.
Good. No. You cannot do this right now. My idea with the context here that you can put like the node IDs was exactly for that, but you cannot use it like natively. Yeah, but that's a good question. You cannot do it now.
Is that
maybe I raise an issue and try to figure out how to implement this, because this is really cool. Yeah.
Is that a limitation of the Phoenix D implementation itself? Yeah, figured that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Another XMR chat we've got from Otto, who also sent 0.01 XMR, said LN is less shitty now. When can we have it on Start 9?
5.9.
Or 9. Yeah. The people want it. The people want it.
It is less shitty. You can say that. It is less shitty.
And it looks beautiful.
Yeah, remember like back in the days, like they have like what was the name? Jumbo channels. Like you have like a limit. And remember that you cannot even connect with mainnet, and it was just testnet, and then okay, now we have like mainnet, but with don't use combo channels or jumbo channels. Don't remember this. And now like it's you can do anything. Live it's less shitty. You can say
We've
that.
come a long way. We've come a long way.
We're fine. Yeah.
Next question comes from Vibrant, and they said, is there an option to easily route all Phoenix D traffic through a Tor proxy for better privacy? I think you might have shown something on this earlier.
Like you can just go to settings, network, and enable Tor here. Just enable Tor. We'll connect it to run a Tor container here. You have this hidden service here, and you can access. Yeah, it is possible. Yeah,
as easy
right there.
as that.
One click away.
Perfect. The last pre-submitted question we've got is from Digital Rebel, and they said, how does Phoenix D handle channel liquidity and fees compared to running a full LND node? We've kind of touched on this, but I know you've got them brought up there, so maybe let's just do a quick overview of because we've alluded to the fact that it can be expensive.
It can be expensive, mostly like you have like auto liquidity on. The auto liquidity on automatic does open a 2 million channels for you. So you start with 2 million channels and you can open with sets 5 million or 10 million. It auto splice for you. So if you need more liquidity, it gives you, but you have to pay like it's 1% plus mining fees. So it is expensive. You're gonna get like 1% down instantly. And if you pay with Phoenix Wallet, uh, every Lightning payment you pay like 0.4% plus 4 sets. So yeah, that's the fees. It's super high. I don't like it. But again, they're the beast, so they're alone. They're running alone, so they can do whatever. And it's worth every penny because it works. Like I never had like everything is easy to pay. Never had like failures. Like everything works pretty well. Uh, yeah, so worth to pay this thing. And they like deserve the money. They're
Yeah, they've
wizards, so
built
they
a
deserve it.
great product for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Miguel, that brings us to the end of the questions. Is there anything that you wanted to share or anything that you want to cover off with the audience while you've kind of got the platform or anything else that we haven't already showcased that you think might be cool just while we wrap up for the last couple of minutes?
No, I think that's it. If you want to connect me, I have my website, miguelmedeiros.dev. You can see like everything here, what I did, my work. You can even play with Lightning. You can even pay here if you want to. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to follow me on Twitter, that's underline Miguel Medeiros, and you can see what I'm going.
Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Well, I personally want to thank you for building Phoenix D. It looks great. We really enjoyed talking about it on the Bitcoin Brief. Also, quick shout out to some of the zaps that we've had come through on Nosta. We've got Nosta Gang with 21 sats, BTC Wrestle with 5,000 sats, and Sazwall with 2,100 sats. BTC Wrestle. Sorzal, sorry, BTC Wrestle mentioned, I've now got to try out Phoenix. I've never actually used it. Always been either a Zeus Maxi or a Normie Moon wallet enjoyer. We'll have to give that a try. Well, BTC Wrestle, you have to let us know how you get on with that. Okay, Max, Seth, anything else from you guys before I close this out?
Not from me. Just to say, yeah, it's really beautiful, and thanks for coming on and building it. Appreciate you.
It was amazing, man. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, likewise. Absolutely love the work and just a beautiful UI too. I don't know if we really mentioned that, but it's not just kind of the vibe coded hack together UI that oftentimes see. So just really appreciate the effort that's gone into that and is really paying off to make Lightning, especially on the desktop, accessible. Thanks for your hard work, man.
Thank you, man.
All right, thanks, Miguel. Thank you to everybody that stopped by, sent zaps, sent your comments and your questions. We really appreciate you getting involved and helping steer the conversation. We will be back at the exact same time next week for more Freedom Tech Friday goodness. Until then, hope you have a good weekend and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for listening to Freedom Tech Friday. To everyone who boosted, asked questions, and participated in the show, we appreciate you all. Make sure to join us next week on Friday at 9 a.m. EST and 2 p.m. London. Thanks to Seth, Max, and Q for keeping it ungovernable. And thank you to Cake Wallet, Foundation, and my NIM box for keeping the ungovernable misfits going. Make sure to check out ungovernablemisfits.com to see Mr. Crown's incredible skills and artwork. Listen to the other shows in the feed to hear Kareem's world-class editing skills. Thanks to Expatriotic for keeping us up to date with boosts, XMR chats, and sending in topics. John, great name and great guy, never change, and never stop keeping us up to date with mining news or continuing to grow the Meshtadel. Finally, a big thanks to the unsung hero, our Canadian overlord, Jordan, for trying to keep the ungovernable in check and for the endless work he puts in behind the scenes. We love you all. Stay ungovernable.